Is now the time for the New York Knicks to push their chips into the center of the table and make a big-time trade? Fred Katz of The Athletic reporting that the Knicks are targeting this summer as the time to make the trade for the next star. But he also followed it up by saying, if no one worthwhile presents himself, then they will turn their eyes to the 2025 trade deadline. You hear that? Yep. This song, that dance, it looks and sounds really familiar. I think we heard this in the summer of 2022. I think we heard this in the summer of 2023. And now that it's the summer of 2024, I know this song, bar for bar. We can go band for band. I know what they're doing. But I understand it as well. Because at the end of the day, who are they trading for? Who? Who's out there? Who's available? As bad as I want something, I can't buy it if it's not for sale. Patrick Seaman, he drives a really nice BMW. I want to buy it from him. He's not selling it. It's not on the market. I can't go purchase something that's not on the shelf. But what I will say is, I truly do believe this. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time to go and get that player, to go and get that talented individual, to add to this roster for multiple reasons. But the main one is, if the Knicks are serious about adding a star, which they have shown you their cards time and time again that is the plan, because James Dolan hired Leon Rose and Worldwide Wesley because of their relationship with star players to bring star players to the Knicks. And I promise you this, as great as he is, best Knick since Patrick Ewing, the home run was not supposed to be Jalen Brunson. It was supposed to be Jalen Brunson and somebody else. The Knicks know that if they want to trade for a star, they got to do it before being a second apron team. Because once you enter that second apron, it gets sticky. It gets sticky. One, you're not allowed to use pre-existing trade exceptions. The New York Knicks have multiple. You can't take back more money in a trade. Meaning if I want to trade for a $30 million player, I got to give up $31 million. Two, you're not allowed to aggregate contracts. Meaning that if there's a player that makes $40 million out there, I have to trade for that player one for one. I have to give up $40 million to get $40 million. Also, you can't make sign-in trades if you're in the second apron. The point I'm trying to show is that once you enter that second apron, it is nearly impossible to add a superstar player unless you are giving up someone that makes superstar money. And overall, one thing I do want to give a lot of credit to for Leon Rose, Worldwide West, this front office, Gerson Rosas, and the way they've gone about things is they have showed great patience. They haven't jumped the gun. They haven't gone out there and bitten the first thing that has jumped in front of their face. They've been extremely patient. But I also believe that because of the window of where you're at right now, where you can make the trade before becoming a second apron team, it doesn't need to be an OG and an OB level trade. That was the perfect trade. Josh Hart, that was the perfect trade. It's tough to have three perfect trades come in your face in a row. That was crazy. Come up right in front of your desk. Oh, that was crazy. Holy shit, that was different. You're not always going to have the perfect trade be right there for you to make. So what I would say is, I would rather add a talented player that's going to help this team win games right now instead of sitting on my hands and crippling myself and handcuffing my, no diddy, and when it comes to making a perfect trade. Yeah, that was Jesus. Do the Knicks make a big trade this summer? The worst part about this, as I'm recording this, I can see Patrick Seaman's face, and he started laughing immediately when I said that. Do the Knicks make a big trade this summer? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let's go back to the point of who. All right, let's compose ourselves. Grow up, Marshall. Grow up. So who's available, right? ESPN New York came up with a list of 6 players. I've done a full video on this. Go check it out. That's why you subscribe, right? Top trade targets. Devin Booker. Oh, hell yeah, let's get Devin Booker. Yeah, Devin Booker, OG Anunoby, Brunson, Randall, and Hartenstein, you're winning a championship. But you know what? Phoenix also believes that they could still compete with him, Durant, and Bradley Beal. And they didn't give up everything for Beal and Durant to kick it out of the park in 1 year. So no. Mikal Bridges. Brooklyn Nets just came out and said we're not trading Mikal Bridges. So, no, not going to happen. Kevin Durant. You think the Nets or the Suns are trading Kevin Durant after a season and a half of trial? No. They're going to continue to run it back. Their feet are in the sand on this team. Joel Embiid. We haven't heard a peep about Joel Embiid being traded. I think he likes where he's at right now. I think he believes if he's healthy, with Maxey being fully healthy, and that max salary slot that they're going to add this summer, that could be a team that competes in the East. Donovan Mitchell. Well, sounds like Donovan Mitchell actually might stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And honestly, I don't think that if you add Donovan Mitchell to this team, you're that much better than what you were the day before you added him. So, ESPN New York, thank you for that list. None of those are going to happen. What about these guys? Brandon Ingram. I actually do think Brandon Ingram is probably the most likely player that the Knicks could trade for. It's time for the New Orleans Pelicans to shake it up. They've got my man Herb Jones as well as Murphy, and those are going to be their wings of the future. And I think that they know that they could get good value back from Ingram while having a fallback plan of those 2 young wings and still build the roster. And while the fit for Ingram would not be perfect, the Knicks would absolutely be better if they added Brandon Ingram. Talented player. He can score, and he's one of the most underrated playmaking wings in this league. He operates in that pick and roll at an extremely high percentage, and the last couple of years, he's averaged 5 and 6 assists. So Ingram can make a lot of sense. I'm not in love with the fit, but again, I think the Knicks are better off suited now, making the not perfect trade for a player that's talented like Ingram that makes the team better. Can you run Ingram at the 2? I think you can. I think you can play Brandon Ingram at the 2. And you go Brunson, Ingram, OG, Randall, and Hartenstein with your bench being Devo and Hart. I would do it, but that's just me. DeMar DeRozan. I was begging for the Knicks to trade for DeMar DeRozan back at the NBA trade deadline. But that was only if he was willing to come off the bench. Because while I think DeRozan is a better player, I think the fit of DiVincenzo at the 2 complements the starting 5 better. But you're not getting DeRozan. Who are you giving up for him? He's a free agent. You're going to do a sign and trade? You're going to give up picks for 35-year-old DeMar DeRozan? If he wants to come off the bench, sure. He's too good of a player for that right now. He just is. Karl-Anthony Towns. We did a video the other day responding to a report from an anonymous general manager in the Eastern Conference that said if the Timberwolves make Karl-Anthony Towns available, the Knicks are 100% going to be interested in him. And the Knicks will always have a little bit of interest in Cat, a big man that shoots. I bet they think that really complements Jalen Brunson, a pick-and-pop game with those 2. The CAA connections, obviously, blood in, blood out. Do we want to pay Cat $50 million? Can Cat be the best player on a championship team? I think the answer is no. Can Cat be a number 2 on a championship team? I think the answer is also no. Can Cat be a number 3 on a championship team? I don't know, but if you think he can, my next question would be, can you pay your third option $50 million per year and win a championship? I do not think so. Dejounte Murray. He's actually my number 2 trade target for the Knicks this offseason that I am keeping in a realistic bucket. I got Ingram 1, and I got Murray 2. It's not the perfect fit. It isn't, but it adds another talented player that adds something to your team that you don't have. Somebody else that can run and control your offense when Jalen Brunson sits down. Murray would be cool. See someone in the chat saying that says that guy. I like Murray. Gives you another athletic player, can guard multiple positions. You'd have 48 minutes of great point guard play. I don't know if that makes you a championship team, though. and Lauri Markkanen. I like Lauri. I think Randall's a better player than Lauri, but I also think that Lauri is a better fit to this roster than Julius Randle. But the only way I'm trading Randall is if I'm getting a better fit, which Lauri might be. But I don't know if I want to trade picks and Randall for Lauri. I think Randall is just a better player. I see someone in the chat right now says, all terrible ideas. Thanks for making my point, bub. Thanks for making my point, son. The perfect player is not available. They're not. And there are no perfect players in this league. Steph's ankles are made of glass. LeBron James, he wasn't clutch. He couldn't shoot the outside shot. Now he doesn't play defense. Giannis can't shoot. Jason Tatum is soft. You could pick apart every single player. But overall, I'm going to continue to stand 10 toes down on this right here. I would rather add a talented but not perfect fit over sitting on my hands and run it back by bringing back Bojan Bogdanovic for $20 million, bringing back Precious, re-signing Alec Burks, bringing back OG and Hartenstein, enter the second apron, and then not having the flexibility to add that star that this organization has been chasing since Leon Rose and Worldwide Wes were hired. I would rather add a talented player that makes this team better, that increases the odds to win a championship, over sitting there and saying, all right, we're locked in now. We're locked in with this team. I don't want to do that. You did all this. You traded out of the 2022 NBA draft the summer you signed Brunson, so you could add these picks to add a star down the line. At some point, scared money don't make money. And you hit a home run with OG. You hit a home run with Hart. How about we just hit a double? And we had a really good player that complements this team, even if you have to overpay. Because you got 11 first-rounders in the next 7 years. You got 8 tradable first-round picks. Think about it like this. I've got 11. If I trade 4, I still have 7 over the next 7 years, which means I have a first-round pick every single year for the next 7 years. I'm not saying because you got 2 $20 bills in your pocket, you got to spend one. But if you see something you like, you might need to do it. Do the Knicks make a big trade this summer? Do they do it? As someone in the chat is now saying, no one has been chasing but fans. Yeah, the Knicks didn't spend the whole summer of 2022 trying to trade for Donovan Mitchell. Yep, did not happen. Just totally incorrect. We were lying. Do the Knicks make a big trade? What do you think? Y for yes and for no. Make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks.